Rubskin here, and yeah, we're talking about Sega Genesis versus Super Nintendo, right? Well, recently I fucking broke down and got a Super Nintendo. Well, actually, Retro Duo, which is this machine that can play Super Nintendo and regular Nintendo games. You know? So now I can fucking do it. I can put fucking Super Nintendo versus Sega Genesis, right? And actually play some fucking games that were on both fucking systems. We can do Jurassic Park versus Jurassic Park, you know, compare the Jurassic Park game on the Sega Genesis to the Jurassic Park game on the Super Nintendo, you know, decide which one's better, you know. And we can do Batman versus Batman, comparing the fucking Batman Returns game on the fucking Sega Genesis to the Batman Returns on the Super Nintendo. And, you know, see which one's better. You know what I'm saying? And we can also fucking do RoboCop versus Terminator versus RoboCop versus Terminator. You know, compare RoboCop versus Terminator on the Sega Genesis to RoboCop versus Terminator on the Super Nintendo, you know? Yeah, it was really exciting to me. I'm actually really fucking excited about that, because I fucking love RoboCop and I love fucking Terminator, so, you know, excited about that. But, you know, most of the time, with games that were on both the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis, most of the time they were the same, you know. Like NBA Jam was basically the same on both systems. Spider-Man, X-Men game on both fucking systems were so fucking similar it's not even worth mentioning, you know. But oftentimes they were different, you know. And I got a list here of games that were better on the Sega Genesis, right? Some of them confirmed by the nerd, right? First off, The Adventures of Batman and Robin is better on the Sega Genesis, you know. Disney's Aladdin is better on the Sega Genesis. Tasmania, better on the Sega Genesis. You know, and even better than that game is Taz on Escape from Mars. That game's even better, right? And Earthworm Jim. Earthworm Jim's better on the Sega Genesis, right? And Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy's Invention, which is a game that only came out on the Sega Genesis. Super Nintendo had a couple Ren and Stimpy games, but they weren't as good as fucking Stimpy's Invention, you know. And, you know, you could argue that fucking fighting games were usually better on the Sega Genesis because the fucking button layout was like fucking Street Fighter 2 or Mortal Kombat or most fucking fighting games that were popular in the arcade at the time, you know. Fatal Fury and Samurai Showdown are better on the Sega Genesis than the Super Nintendo version, you know. I mean, the ideal version is the Neo Geo, because both those games, you know, are on the Neo Geo, but the Sega Genesis versions of those games pretty fucking good. You know what I mean?
Fatal Fury 2!
Yeah. Like a game that tells me what it is. Well, you know, I want to do a whole thing about fucking fighting games. You know. And well, most people remember Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. There's a lot of fucking fighting games that most people don't remember. You know? Want to do a thing called Forgotten Fighters. You know? About the fighting games nobody remembers.
You up!
And also, now that I got the fucking Nintendo, I want to do that video I was talking to you guys about doing the fucking boss order for the fucking Mega Man games. You know, and you guys asked me which one of the fucking Mega Man games is my favorite. Well, I guess, yeah, it has to be. It can only be fucking Mega Man 3. Yeah, that one's probably the fucking best. Those bosses are fucking awesome. But you gotta beat them in a particular order, you know? So I'm gonna do a video where I tell you how to beat all the fucking Mega Man games. You know, and the boss order to do it in, you know? Yeah. Yeah. Fucking Mega Man's great. And, yeah. What were we talking about? Fucking Sega Genesis versus Super Nintendo, right? Yeah. Which, we're gonna do more fucking videos about it, you know? Because now I got a fucking Super Nintendo. Or a Retro Duo, which, pretty much fucking rocks. Now, I heard that the fucking controllers weren't very good. and that you'd want to replace them with original Super Nintendo controllers, but I haven't had a fucking problem with them. They work fine, you know. And also heard that not all your fucking Nintendo games are going to work for it. Well, all my fucking Nintendo games work for it just fine. They play great, you know. So yeah, gonna do fucking more videos about them, you know. So what do you guys think I should do next, huh? You guys can fucking vote. Vote number 1 if you want me to do a fucking video about Mega Man, right? And vote number 2 if you want me to do a fucking video about Forgotten Fighters. Right? And vote number 3 if you want to see a video about RoboCop versus Terminator versus RoboCop versus Terminator, you know, with the Super Nintendo versus the Sega Genesis versions, you know, and stuff. Yeah. So it's up to you guys. Vote number 1, number 2, or number 3, alright? Tally up the fucking votes and whatnot. Yeah, whatnot. Anyway, yeah, so Super Nintendo versus Sega Genesis, yeah, it's pretty much down to one fucking thing. It's the fucking games, you know. Which game system has the better games? And in my opinion, it's the Sega Genesis. Because it's got a fucking awesome selection of awesome fucking games, you know what I'm talking about? Shit, yeah. So yeah, more fucking games. Next time. Until then, keep it real.